Sanji is the cook of the Straw Hat Pirates, but beyond that, he's arguably the third strongest member. Now, while I originally found it very odd that this random cook is so strong, it actually turns out that there are some secrets to his power, and that's what we're here to talk about. Today, I'll be going over all of Sanji's powers and abilities. Blackleg style is a martial arts form created by Red Leg Zeph, aka Sanji's mentor and role model. It's a form of fighting in which the user only uses their legs and feet in order to preserve their hands for the more important task of cooking. This fighting style was created before the main series started when Zeph was a pirate, but it was first seen from Sanji in chapter 54 when he used it to take out a group of pirates in a matter of seconds. He did this by using an attack called Party Table Kick Course, which brings us to the naming scheme of Blackleg style. Like many other characters in the series, Sanji's attacks have a certain naming scheme to them. In this case, the attacks are usually named after something food or meat related. So for instance, Sanji has an attack called Concasseur, which basically means crush, but actually concasse is a French term used to describe the process of crushing ingredients such as nuts or grains. When Sanji uses this ability, he spins rapidly on one hand or in the air, and he uses the force of this spinning to make his kick even stronger. Speaking of strength, you can imagine that a user of Blackleg style has to have extremely strong legs, and you would be right, as even before the time skip, Sanji was able to kick away cannonballs in mid-air. But there's an even stronger technique that Sanji could use that could power up his kicks even more. Diable Jambe, or Diable Jambe as I'll be referring to it, was first seen in chapter 415 during Sanji's fight with Jabra. In French, Diable refers to devil and Jambe means leg, and this name is fitting because this technique allows Sanji to light his leg on fire. He accomplishes this by spinning on one leg and using not only friction but his burning emotions to actually heat up the leg. This not only increases Sanji's attack potency, but also his speed. And pretty much every attack that he can do regularly, he can do with Diable Jambe as well. Post time skip, Sanji has mastered this ability to the point where he can ignite both legs without even the need to spin. And he can go even further beyond this by lighting his entire body on fire. Now if you're asking, how? Well, I'm here to explain this. See, Sanji is a simp, to the point where he will not hit any woman, even if it's in a life or death situation. So you can imagine how much rage he has built up since, for 2 years, he was stuck on an island with cross-dressers. And this rage is so potent that in times of anger, he can light his entire body on fire. Now if you're asking the more sane question of how is he not dead, well in chapter 1023 it was established that Sanji's passions and emotions burn hotter than any flame that he can produce. Even so, Sanji's opponent Queen speculated that the only reason that he can perform Diable Jambe is because of his genetic modifications, which brings us to the second branch of Sanji's powers. So in the Whole Cake Island arc, Sanji's true heritage was revealed. Before he encountered Zeph, he was actually a member of the Vinsmoke family, the royal family of the Germa Kingdom. Sanji's father, Vinsmoke Judge, was actually the great scientist that created the raid suits. However, he was a complete dick who decided to genetically modify his children to have no emotions, so that they could be perfect soldiers. Fortunately, Sanji's mother Sora did everything in her power to stop this genetic modification. As a result, Sora died, and while Sanji did become a regular child, he was tormented by the rest of his family for being weak. This obviously led to him running away, and fast forward a decade, he ran into Germa again. After the events of Whole Cake Island, Sanji found the raid suit in his pocket as a gift from Judge for saving his life. And 30 chapters later, he decided to wear the suit as a disguise, even though he hates his family with a burning passion. On a basic level, the raid suit greatly enhances the user's physical capabilities. The cape for the raid suit is bulletproof, and the boots allow a person to fly, regardless of whether they could before or not. Each suit also has its own special ability, since they're personalized to the wearer. Sanji's suit allows him to turn invisible, an ability that he's been wanting for his entire life, for obvious reasons. But shortly after wearing the raid suit for the second time, Sanji himself stated that his body felt off, and in his fight with Queen, he would find out what the issue was. During his battle with Queen, Sanji refused to wear the raid suit because of his pride, even if it put him at a disadvantage. This led to him getting all of the bones in his body crushed because of Queen's unorthodox tactics. But in chapter 1028, it was revealed that because of wearing the raid suit, Sanji had awakened the genetic modifications that his mother had suppressed. See, Judge had manipulated the lineage factor, which is said to be the blueprint of all life. And by manipulating it from a young age, he can modify a person's body. This is exactly what Judge did to his children. By manipulating the lineage factor, he not only made them emotionless, but also gave them enhanced strength, speed, and a durable exoskeleton that could withstand attacks from Yonko commanders. And by withstand attacks, I really mean it, as Queen full force swung his sword at Sanji and it broke over his head. What the fuck? And this is how I think he was so strong at the beginning of the series. Sure, he trained a lot under Zeph, but I think his genetic modification had something to do with that as well. And when you think about it this way, it makes sense. In his first major fight with Gin, a human, he lost, but in the arc right after this, he fights fishmen who are 10 times stronger than humans at birth. But that's just a little theory that I have. During the raid, Sanji was met with a choice. He could either put on the raid suit and become an emotionless killing machine and easily defeat Queen, or he can destroy the raid suit and just be a flawed human being. And obviously, being the upstanding guy that he is, Sanji decided to destroy the raid suit and keep his emotions. It turns out this was the right course of action, as Sanji not only kept his emotions, but all of his genetic modifications as well. By using these modifications in combination with Diable Jambe, Sanji was able to create an even stronger technique, Ifrit Jambe, a technique vastly stronger than Diable Jambe, with even hotter flames that are blue. But you know, in the comments, tell me what y'all think about Sanji's new powers, and tell me what y'all think about Sanji as a character. Me personally, I like Zoro over Sanji, but I can't lie that there are moments where Sanji is just way cooler. I also enjoy his role as like the third strongest Straw Hat, because when Luffy and Zoro are being complete dumbasses and getting themselves captured or something like that, Sanji's always the one to save them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what the video is gonna be next week. I was kind of thinking Bleach, because you know the anime just came back out and you know I'm kind of into that now. But I was also thinking about making a video about the Yonko as well. So y'all can tell me in the comments which one y'all want.